how will you know? I mean, for instance, Nick does, let's say, maybe a voiceover here and there.
Unanistaki kwa KRA wewe.
No, I'm just saying, what if he fails to, to include that? Or it's an oversight maybe on his part. Maybe you forgot, right?
Yeah, we have compliance. Non-compliance issues is a challenge. And I think that's also why we have compliance officers.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
Taxes Department from the K.R.A. joins us live right here in the studios. Let's just call him BB. How's that?
BB.
Welcome to Hot 96. Benaihia, Bett. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Jeff.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Tell us, we have until the 30th of this month, so that gives us, 16 more days to file our taxes?
Yes.
Who needs to file? Tell us.
Every Kenyan who has a PIN, an individual for that matter. We also have companies with accounting dates ending in December. So you are allowed, or you are given 6 months to account for the previous year's activities that you've undertaken. So you have to account through filing a return by 30th of June of the following year. So for all activities undertaken in the year 2021, you are supposed to account through filing a return by 30th of June 2022.
Yeah, but Benaihia, what if your company is paying you what we call PAYE, pay as you earn? Do you still need to file?
Yes, you are still required to file a return because the Kenyan system operates a specified source system where you are supposed to declare all sources of income, be it from rental, be it from employment, be it from business, investments. So pay as you earn is a part of that. It represents a part of all other specified sources. So an individual could have several sources and they need to declare all that through a return.
For instance, let's say you're a border rider,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And you get paid what? Cash every day?
100, 200.
Yeah.
You've made even 100,000.
Correct.
So
how does one, if you're a border rider and you fail to file, what happens? And there's what, 6-7 million of them? That's a whole population.
When it comes to taxation, there is a threshold also. A person earning 288,000 shillings per annum, when you calculate that with a relief of 28,800 shillings, that will imply that that person will pay a 0 shilling, because the lowest rate is 10% for an individual. And the threshold, so 10% of 288,000 shillings
is 28,800.
28,800. And that is the relief threshold.
Anything above that?
Anything above that should be a person has to pay taxes out of it.
Okay, so let's go to, a lot of people, like let's say, pay as you earn. So, see, at the end of the month, the government takes 30%. So it is taken to KRA. You already have the information. Why? Some people feel like, why should I do it again, yet the employer already sent all of it to you?
Thank you for that question. As I said earlier, a return is a form of feedback of all the economic activities you have undertaken over the period. And employment is just a part of it. There are other sources of income that a person gets over the year. There is business income, side hustles. There is rental income. There is also investments. All those activities, economic activities, have to be reported through a return. So a person might not be employed, but they have other sources of income which they need to report through a return.
And how will you know? I mean, for instance, Nick does, let's say, maybe a voiceover here and there.
Unanistaki kwa KRA wewe.
No, I'm just saying, what if he fails to, to include that? Or it's an oversight maybe on his part. Maybe you forgot, right?
Yeah, we have non-compliance issues is a challenge, and I think that's also why we have compliance officers. We are trying to expand the tax base by bringing on board all the people who are not compliant as at now.
When you say not compliant, is it what? People who just don't file?
Don't declare, don't file, or when they declare, maybe they under-declare. That's some form of non-compliance. And it's a self-assessment era where our taxpayers, our esteemed taxpayers, Kenyans, are being called to declare voluntarily. Make a voluntary declaration of all your activities. Be as truthful as possible and pay your fair share of taxes.
Like of late, people are saying that catching colds. How are you helping us go online? Because, knowing very well we are last minute
File taxes.
So the system sometimes hangs or crashes. I don't know what happens in the IT background or backbone. How are you helping us this year?
Good. Now, we still have sufficient time for that, and we have a robust iTax system, which it is now very much active. It has not crashed. So I would like to tell our esteemed listeners that they should start filing their returns early enough. We still have sufficient time. This is the right time. Declare your returns, and you can access iTax even through your mobile phone and declare those returns anywhere in this world, as long as you can get access to the internet.
And if you fail to file by the 30th,
There's a penalty, yeah?
yeah.
There's a penalty, of 2,000 shillings for an individual, or 5% of the tax due. And for a limited company, it's 5% or 20,000 shillings
Per year.